Hey guys, Matt here. Wanted to do another video. I just got a couple of boxes back from CGC. One was the signing for Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman. I submitted one book for that. And then the next one is a little bit bigger box, and I'm trying to remember, I submitted a couple of different things, so we'll open it up and see which one it is. I'm also submitting some books to CGC behind me, and I'll show you before the end of the video some of the books that I'll be submitting. Some of them are more or less the older. I've got a couple of big keys in there as well that I wanted to submit and get them graded, and these are all going to be for my personal collection. So let's open up the first signature box and see how we did. For the Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman one, I wanted to submit just one particular book, and I submitted the crossover book, number one, as opposed to the Venom. I know a lot of people obviously submitted Venom, but I wanted to submit something different. I submitted a crossover, and I submitted the 1 in 100 book. And let's see here if I can do this so you guys can see, and we'll take off the shell and we'll see how we did. So this is crossover number one, and this was obviously signed by both Stegman and Cates. This is the Stegman sketch cover. I think it's the 1 in 100, and let's see how we did. Great, 9.8. And CGC notes on this particular one, the first appearance of Ellipses, L. Hal, Ryan Lowe, Otto, and Ava. This is obviously the Virgin cover, and oh well, that's really cool. So Donny Cates signed it in gold, and Ryan signed it in black right here. If you can see that particular one, I'll try and get it there better. But definitely a nice one. This is a thicker cardstock cover, so you might see some of these in higher grades. There are a little, looks like during the encapsulation, some stuff made it inside. I don't know if you can actually see any of that in here. It's not anything significant that I would make a big deal out of it. It's just it's very minor, but it is something that's annoying when you're paying for obviously encapsulation like this. You're hoping that everything comes out good. I'm fine with this. Everything else as far as the encapsulation looks good, and a 9.8 to boot. So that's how we did on that one. And let's open up the next one. And I believe this was about 5 or 7 books I think I submitted. Typically, as I said in one of my earlier videos, what I typically do is I'll submit a number of pre-screens, and then if depending on how they come back and all, I'll decide whether it needs to be pressed or whether I'll just submit for grading or something like that. In one of these, and I'm not sure if this is the one, I did a little test with CGC to see, and I'm not sure if this is the particular one, but we're going to find out as we open this up. It looks like there are 3, 4, 5 books in this particular submission, so I think this is actually the one. Let me go through those with you guys as well. So, put that down here. First book up is Uncanny XMen 282, and this is the first cameo appearance of Bishop. This is one of the more popular Bishop books. I know that they have his first full appearance is 283, and what I had originally done, and this is actually the set, is I had submitted 3 books of this for a 9.8 pre-screened. And those were, I believe those books had actually been pressed, and one was encapsulated and made the 9.8, which I already have, and then 2 got rejected and sent back to me. Given some of the values of the books, I didn't repress or do anything. I just sent it back in, and I figured since I already have a 9.8, I'll get the books graded. put them up maybe for sale and basically pay for my, the rest of my submission, and that's what I did. So I don't know what these grades are, we're gonna see, but basically I can tell you that they were rejects from a 25 book pre-screen that I had done in the past. So the first one up for this particular 282 is a 9.4. So not surprising, as I told you, this was a 9.8 reject. Still a very nice book. I still think it's worthwhile. The hope and the speculation is that something's going to come of Bishop in the MCU, and that one will obviously likely go up for sale, given that I do already have a 9.8. So next one is the other copy of the Bishop, or the Uncanny XMen 282. Again, this is another reject. So if the other one was a 9.4, I would suspect this one probably be the same. And let's see how we did. 9.8. Wow. How the heck did it get a 9.8? Well, I'm not complaining, but this goes to show you how crazy grading can be. So I can tell you these were rejects of a 25 book pre-screen, and I just resubmitted them. Nothing changed, nothing was done to the books, simply resubmitted them, only because I already got the 9.8 and these were 2 extras and I thought it'd be worth more graded. And this one's a 9.8. So I'm kind of shocked, and it just goes to show you how subjective grading is. That's pretty incredible. So I mean, look, just because you don't get a 9.8 in a pre-screen doesn't mean it can't get graded that way on a different day. It literally did nothing to this book or the other one that you saw to change the grade. I'm not going to complain. That's great. I mean, that puts this over a $200 book. But again, that just blows my mind that those were both rejects. Let me see what else. Remember what else we got in this one. Let's see. So this one is another one. Again, this was a reject that I had submitted in a pre-screen with another one. The other one did come back as a 9.8. This one got rejected, and I literally just resubmitted it because I figured I could sell it and put it up, given the Falcon and the Winter Soldier coming out. And this one is basically, I believe this one is when John Walker becomes the new Captain America. And without doing the grade, I'm going to see if they say that. And it's basically, Super Patriot Johnny Walker becomes the new Captain America. And this particular book, 8.5. Wow. I didn't think that was going to be that low. I definitely thought this was probably going to be like a 9.92. It is a newsstand copy. The book looked really good as well. I see maybe one spine tick here, and let me see if you can just kind of get an idea in the back. A very nice copy. So CGC, I don't know what's up. Maybe I'm just not quite as good as I thought I was with grading. So 8.5, not a big loss to me, especially given the other book and the fact that I already have that one in a 9.8. But again, that was a reject for a pre-screen, and that one came back on 8.5 and the other one came back on 9.8. So go figure. Okay, another book. This is Captain America 290. I believe this is the first appearance of Mother Superior. And this is just one that I had sent in. I knew this one is not a 9.8. There's just no way. But I wanted to get it encapsulated. It's a really nice book, and I wanted to kind of add it to my Captain America collection. This is a 1984 one, and let's see how we did. Oh, 9.6. So I'm very happy with that. Like I said, you can see this is, with the black cover and all, it's got one or two little spine ticks, which is amazing to me because I can see the spine ticks a lot better on this one than the other one. Yet this one gets a 9.6. And this notes, at least CGC notes on here, first appearance of Mother Superior, Cynthia Schmidt, later becomes Sin, Falcon and Nomad appearance, Wasp cameo, and this is white pages. Like I said, just a nice book I had, and I really I wanted to get it encapsulated. There's nothing, I don't believe there's anything crazy right now with spec on this particular one, but it is something I wanted to add to the collection. So, last book on this particular one is, again, another Captain America 364. Just another one, I believe, with a very low census count and all. Specifically, there's, you know, just a Red Skull, Crossbones, Diamondback appearance. Nothing, I don't believe anything major with this book, but again, I have a number of Captain America 80s run, and I wanted to submit some of them, you know, ones that I already had either graded or not. So this one just came in, and we got on this one 9.6. Great. No complaints here. You know, on this one, I did not believe this is a 9.8 book. It has a couple of little defects in the spine, as I said, white pages, you know, and I mean, the book looks great. But I'm very happy with the 9.6. So it kind of gives you an idea that sometimes there's no real rhyme or reason. I mean, how I went from a reject to a 9.8 book without doing anything just blows my mind. And it should be a lesson to everybody. I mean, it's definitely what I look at it too, is just because a book gets rejected one day doesn't mean it's not potentially a 9.8 the other day, or a 9.6 on a day where you got a 9.8. So what can I say about that? You know, for those of you who are familiar with CGC and Submit. Let me go over a couple of books that I'm going to be sending in now. This is not a pre-screen. I normally do that, but I had a couple of nice books that I wanted to submit. So let me show you what I'll submit, and then obviously I'll do a follow-up video when I get that in. First one I'm sure many people are familiar with, ASM 300. This is obviously the big Venom Key book. I do have a newsstand edition. There are a number of spine defects on this book, and I don't know if you'll be able to see them or not. Definitely not a 9.8. You know, I'm hoping for anywhere between a 9.2, you know, and a 9.4, and I'll be quite happy. The value of that book has gone up drastically. For all you Star Wars fans, my next book, Star Wars #1. No, this is not the 35-cent price variant. I wish it was. This is another book that I actually had pressed. I had that pressed too, as well. I've had a couple of these books pressed by different individuals. These first two books have been pressed by Josh Avery of Avery Comics and Pressing. Does a great job. You can find him online. He's very easy to work with, and I do recommend him. So this particular Star Wars has a nice defect right here, color breaking one, and it creases in, and I know Josh did his best to get as much of that as he could out, but you know, it's definitely there, and it will affect the grade. Hopefully 9.0, I'm hoping, on this particular book. I mean, regardless, I'm very happy to have it and have it in the collection. Next one, Defenders #17, and this is the first, I believe, first meetup between Luke Cage and the Defenders. It's a nice older book to have. Again, not one that I expect a 9.8 or anything like this. This is probably around a 9.0, maybe even an 8.5 on this book. But nevertheless, it's still a nice book to have in, given the age of this book, and I believe it's in the 70s. This one, these are all going in the value. I believe it's the value tier. It's definitely a higher tier, so it's about, depending on your level, about $25 a book to grade. Next one, Amazing Spider-Man 298. This is the first cameo appearance of Eddie Brock in some of the pages. I know 299 is the second cameo they consider it, and then 300 is obviously the book where he appears as Venom. Again, this is another nice Todd McFarlane artwork on here. A higher grade, 9.8 probably not, but still a nice book. I would like to get it slabbed and put into the collection so it's encapsulated. Next one is Marvel Team Up number 95, and this is the first appearance of Bobby Morse as Mockingbird. A nice book to have. Again, you know, these are more of the what I'll consider older books. They're not golden age books of any sort, or really for the most part, but these are nice little books where I think maybe there's some chance later in the future for the MCU for maybe Mockingbird to come into play. Next one is a pretty hot book right now, and that's Fantastic Four 94. This is the first appearance of Agatha Harkness. Obviously, if you're watching the WandaVision show, which has got about 2 episodes left at the time that I'm filming this, this is her first appearance. Again, I believe this is probably an 8.5 kind of grade on this particular book, but still a key nonetheless and still worth encapsulating. Next one, Avengers King Science Annual number 10. This book has picked up a lot. This is the first appearance of Rogue. And obviously there's been talks about whether she will be involved in coming in through maybe Captain Marvel 2 or one of the other MCU movies. But I definitely think this book is worthy of picking up if you can pick it up for a pretty good price and get it graded. Again, this one has a number of different spine defects. You know, it is a newsstand. I believe there are some direct editions as well. You know, this one probably in the realm of 9.0, maybe 9.2 on this particular book. So we'll see what happens when I get it back. Next one up is Avengers number 69. And this is the, I believe this is the first appearance of the Grand Master. Obviously, that he was in the Thor Ragnarok movie, and you know, I think there's still going to be a future for this. This is also the cameo team appearance of the Squadron Sinister, I believe, on this one, and I actually had 2 copies. These particular books were actually pressed by Gary Kendra, Impressive Comics. He's another great presser out there for the community. So I try and, you know, spread my books across the community and different individuals. You know, both Josh, Gary, and some other ones who I'll talk about when I have some of their books in front of me. But he does another great job. I do have 2 copies. One copy, what you'll see and notice is this particular copy, someone had written in with an R or pen mark on the cover. I do not believe that's going to make this any type of purple label. This should still come back a blue label, you know, but we will submit it and see which one grades higher. At least we kind of, you know, you can see one has the R and one doesn't, and we'll see where they go on these. I expect these to probably be somewhere in the realm of, you know, in the 7.0, something of that nature, maybe 7.5, just depending on what CGC thinks of it. These other books are not major keys that I can recall. They're just books that I really wanted to get slabbed. They're older books, so when I send in a submission like this, I try and add to it. The first one is Fantastic Four number 86. A really nice Doctor Doom cover, you know, with the Fantastic Four coming, and obviously Doctor Doom at some point coming in. This is one I wanted to add to get encapsulated and all, and this is definitely a book. I believe it's back in the 70s for this particular issue. So 2 more left. This is Jungle Action number 22. I do believe there's a some significance to these two books I'm going to show you. Unfortunately, I can't remember. If you do recall, you can put it in the comments for everybody else. But obviously, two Black Panther books that I definitely think are worthwhile, and I wanted to get them encapsulated. Like I said, these particular books are just for my personal collection to add into it, and what better time with the Black Panther and everything that's going to be coming up with the Wakanda Disney Plus shows and things like that, and to get these done. And so that is the first one, and the second one is Jungle Action number 15. And again, same thing, just a nice copy book. These are probably somewhere in the realm of 8.0, you know, and up. Nothing in the 9s, but I suspect that they'll come back at least pretty good from what I can tell. And these, like I said, were all pressed by Gary Kendra, so credit to him, and hopefully we'll get decent grades on them. So that's it for today's video. Like I said, you know, I've got some other things out there. I've got some, I do have 2 different 25 book pre-screens still out there, so we'll see when they come in. I do have some raw books that I'll probably be showing if anyone's interested, and I've got some submissions both for some Pokemon cards over at CGC and some PSA Marvel cards that hopefully will be coming back in the next 45 days, given the amount that I paid to have them submitted. Any questions, comments, please leave them below, and I appreciate everybody for watching. Have a great night.